Welcome everyone to my 5 favorite things about Ashes Reborn. Today we're going to start off with my number 5, which is how this game handles the mulligan rules. Every game has a little different way they're going to handle how you take your first hand of cards. In this particular game, you just get to straight up pick them. On top of having your Phoenix Born specific cards, your Conjuration cards, this game allows you to pick 5 cards out of your deck, and that's just your starting hand. I love how they do that. There's no waiting, hoping to get your strategy going on a draw, or digging through your deck. You just start with them in hand. Sometimes you pick the right ones, sometimes you pick the wrong ones, but at least you get to make that choice yourself. I think it adds a definite strategy layer to be appreciated. Every different Phoenix Born is going to be different how you want to approach that, but overall, I like it much better than any of the other mulligan systems I've seen to date. That brings us to my number 4. My number 4 is going to be the pre-con decks in this game. I'm not a big fan of deck construction. I like what deck construction brings to these games. I just don't like doing it. I don't like spending the time to go through all the cards, put the decks together, to have a fun time with it. I don't want to go on the internet. I don't want to search up a deck somebody else built. I don't want to hunt down all the cards in my entire collection, put this deck together to pull it back apart and do it again the next time I play. I prefer pull the game out, throw it on the table, see what it does, enjoy the little bit of free time that I have doing it, and go on from there. The pre-cons in this game are fantastic. Not only do they each work very well, but they also are very thematic. They also have, each particular pre-con seems to have its own personality, which I really enjoy. Some are going to be more militant. Some are going to be more elegant in nature. Some of them are going to be more magical and things of that nature. And I really enjoy that. Every game feels different just by picking a different Phoenix Born in their pre-con because of the personality that pre-con brings to the game. Some are obviously going to do better against other decks or different chimeras or any of that nature, but just the fact that the pre-cons aren't just a collection of cards, but some thought was put behind them thematically, I think it's absolutely wonderful, and that's why it's my number 4. That's going to bring us to our number 3, the Red Rains expansions. I absolutely adore that they brought out these expansions to the game. It brings a solo and a co-op mode to an otherwise PvP game that I don't get to play enough because of its PvP nature without it. Absolutely fantastic. Not only does it let me get this great game to the table, experience some of those pre-cons and those first 5s more often, it allows me to plug other games into that 2-player slot that I wouldn't normally ever get to play either. So that's absolutely fantastic. And these Chimera, much like the pre-cons, are very thematic. They're very mechanically different. They each have a personality to them, just like the pre-cons did, which makes each game that you're going to play feel different than the last, which when you're going to play a game that has this much content, that's an absolute must. There's just so many cards in this game. You want to see it all, but you don't want to get bored in the process. The different personalities that they've put into these chimeras, that they've put into these pre-con decks, allow that to happen. I think the rule set's very good. I think that having 2 aspects per chimera changes each chimera even without even changing chimera. I think all of that is fantastic. I like the different difficulty levels they added for each one. You think your deck that you've built is awesome and you're pounding on the Frostwild Scourge with it, well, kick it up a level and it'll get harder. I absolutely love how they did this. My number 2 favorite thing about Ashes Reborn is going to be that it's not a TCG. I know they don't call it an LCG because that name has somehow been copyrighted. My second favorite is that it's not a TCG. Meaning, when I buy a pack of cards, I just get everything in it. I don't have to go buy booster packs. I don't have to mortgage my house and hope I finally get the one card that I need. or hunt it down somewhere on the internet and pay an arm and a leg for a single playing card. I don't find that enjoyable at all. I much prefer this system where, oh, I want this particular character. Oh, that guy with the giant hammer looks cool. Let me go buy that pack and get all of his cards. That to me is fantastic. Oh, I want the plant-based bad guy. I think I'm going to go pick him up, see what he looks like. Oh, look at this guy over here. He looks like he can control the dead. Yeah, I want to do that. What I don't want to do is buy a pack of cards for $15 and hope the card that I want is in it. I get a lot of people are into that. I personally am not. I love the fact that this is a more predetermined system. I hope they don't steer away from that in the newer stuff they plan on putting out, which I don't think they will. I think it's absolutely fantastic. This is how this should be done. This is how you take care of your consumers. This is how you become a company that people come back and buy 28 different heroes. They buy 6 different Chimera bosses and are still willing to show up on your crowdfunding for a brand new iteration of the same game built on good bones. My number one favorite thing in Ashes Reborn is going to be the dice management, mitigation, and resource system. These dice are how you play the cards in this game. They are your resources. I think it's a fantastic way of handling it. You roll, you get 10 of them. You can mix them however you want, 3 of one, 7 of another, based on how your deck's constructed. You want all 10, you want 5 and 5, however you want to do it. But they take it even further in this game. Not only are you rolling dice with that fun aspect of, oh, how did my roll turn out? But it's also easily mitigated to change the dice to whatever face that you may need. Some Phoenixborn really lean into that aspect of changing your opponent's dice, changing your dice, which adds a whole nother layer to strategy. Plus, each individual magic has its own little side action that benefits you based on whatever magic you're using. Maybe you're plinking units. Maybe you're putting status dice on your cards or removing them from others. Maybe you're just manipulating dice even more. It's just a fantastic system. I wish more games did this. I think it's better than collecting coins or tossing cards or any of those types of things or collecting one of these per round. I think this system really shines. It also affects what cards you're going to take maybe in your first 5, because you don't want to stack your first 5 too hard where you don't have enough dice to even use them. So I just think it works out fantastic all the way around. So that's going to be my number one thing I love about Ashes Reborn is going to be the dice management, mitigation, and resource system. Well, there you have it. My 5 favorite things about Ashes Reborn. We have a playthrough of the game already on the channel. We plan to have many more on the channel in the future. I have plenty of content for this game. If you want to see a particular setup, combo, please drop that in the comments. I'd be happy to do it. Let me know what your 5 favorite things about Ashes Reborn is in the comments. I'd love to hear that kind of thing. I know a lot of people really enjoy the deck construction in this game. I'd like to hear what maybe some of your favorite builds and stuff are. And I want to thank everybody for hanging out today. I don't normally ask this, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it for this video. Please go ahead and drop some likes, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. I appreciate you watching the video.